People used to use elephants
Years ago, go on.
When people used to use elephants?
Yeah, more than they do now.
Right.
More than they do now!
This doesn't involve a midget, does it?
So you know, they'd use them in the workplace and stuff. To sort of-
Yeah, as factories.
sort of,
yeah.
To move stuff around and
Teenagers.
that.
Yeah, security guards.
Yeah. Can't trust them with the buns, though. That's why they stopped using them.
Oh, God, go on.
And the thing is,
We
right,
couldn't move them.
if you have a lot of something,
Uh-huh.
you also have a lot of demic ones, don't you?
A lot of what?
You know, sort of demicky ones that aren't right, really.
Demicky.
Well, you know, like, they weren't properly. They weren't...
They weren't properly. Sorry, but Carl, what are you doing?
Right, I'm getting to the story. So what I'm telling you is...
They were a bit demicky, so they weren't
Basically,
properly.
Have you started making words up?
Right.
Yeah, you Stanley Unwin,
Listen.
reincarnated.
Demicky?
Yeah.
There was a lot of albino elephants knocking about.
Where is this?
Olden times.
Africa?
Yes! Should we say Africa?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If an answer's got a question mark at the end, I'm not
Well,
sure
it's
if
either Africa or India, but I'll give you a clue. Well, these elephants, do they have big ears or little ears?
I didn't sort of notice the size of the elephants. What I noticed is they were white because they were albino elephants.
Okay.
Right? So that's why they're heading. I would be null buying one of them.
Okay.
So what would happen is people who didn't know what they were doing, like, you know, you get people making a mistake buying cars that are full of problems and that. Back
Yeah.
then when people were buying elephants, they'd go up to someone, say, I'm after an elephant, and the fella would say, yeah, I've got one here for you, this is a nice one. And it was all white and stuff, and it had, like, blue eyes.
You should never trust a used elephant salesman.
This elephant that's white with blue eyes.
Right,
This is great.
So,
Yeah.
so a fellow who didn't know what he was doing would buy the elephant, and he'd get it back, and it'd be all sort of lazy and stuff,
Oh,
and
the
what we're
worst
doing and
case, yeah.
stuff. And he'd say, what's up with this? And his mate, who's a bit of an expert with elephants, and go, oh, where have you bought that from? And he said, oh, I got it off that fella. And he goes, oh,
All this embellishing nonsense he does with the
you
story.
shouldn't have bought that. So he goes, why? And he says, it's only albino, isn't it? And he's like, what does that mean? And he said, oh, it gets tired. It's not that good at doing work and that. You shouldn't
It
have bought
steals from you.
But elephants back then were like a god. You know what I mean?
Right.
You couldn't say, oh, I'm sick of this and I'm going to abandon it or anything, because elephants were seen as like pretty high up on the chain of things. So they'd end up being stuck with an elephant that's an albino.
Yeah.
Couldn't do much, gets tired, basically gets in the way. So they said that's where they're saying, like, you know, bought a bit of a white elephant there.
What do you reckon, Rick?
I feel like I haven't been educated. I feel like I've lost something. So at that time in my life that I can never get back. I feel like I've sort of been soiled, and I don't know where to start. I'm angry. Do you know what I mean? I'm angry.
Sure, yeah, I can see that.
And all that rubbish around. Look at his little face.
Well-
What was that? All that shit about a second-hand elephant salesman and his mate knew about elephants. What is it? What are they? They had blue eyes. What are you?
Well,
Albinos have red eyes for a start.
oh, that's it. We've run out of time.
Oh, what? I mean, what are you going to do about this next week? Are you going to actually do some educating next week? And what about Rockbusters? Are you going to make the clues proper cryptic clues?
Well, that's the teaser, isn't it? That's what we'll leave them with.
Will it be any good next week? Tune in and find out on XFM 104.9. Red Hot Chili Peppers on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant.
Hello there.
Carl Pilkington.
Alright.
Don't be nervous. We might see a difference in Carl. He's a little bit shy. There's someone here from the BBC filming this, part of that celebrity boxing thing. The Fight, I think it's called, and they want to get a little clip of this, so we're gonna let them film for a minute, and then they're gonna go away. Is that alright, Carl?
Yeah.
He doesn't want to be on camera, do you? Do you?
I think it ruins radio, doesn't it? Do you know
Well,
what I
not
mean?
for the people listening, it doesn't.
Yeah, but it does, because people are like, oh, he sounds like a bit of a looker.
What you?
Yeah. And then they'll see it on the telly, and they'll go, God, yeah, you know, his head is round.
It is round, though, isn't it?
So,
Guess what? I got a call yesterday. You'll love this, Steve. From MTV, and wondering if they could screen test Carl.
That's outrageous.
I'm loving it, and I was going, yeah, and I said, yeah, it's fine. I'll come down with him, and I was saying, what about this and that, and they were loving it. I called him, and I went, oh no. I went, why not? He went, well, I'm looking at my reflection now in the mirror. He said, I shouldn't be on the telly.
What would you wear for your screen test, Carl? What kind of look would you try and cultivate? Because you've got to bear in mind that the audience out there, they don't know what you look like. So, would you be a snappy dresser like, say, Jonathan Ross, or would you go for your kind of street cash look?
Can't wear a suit.
You can't wear a suit?
Don't hold it well. So, I'm thinking, I don't know, I'll probably wear my woolly hat, because that takes some years off me.
It does, he looks about 10 with a woolly hat on.
Yeah.
Okay.
And,
Is it quite a cool woolly hat, or has it got a bobble?
it's charcoal, I'd say it's the in colour.
Yeah, okay.
And I'll probably wear me anorak.
Right.
Oh, he's going for the. He's going for glam. He's going for quite a glam look. Oh,
no one else has
dressed
done
for a jumble sale. Wow.
But
Yeah.
I'm not that happy about it all, to be honest.
Are you going to do it? You're not going to do it?
Well, I'm sort of stuck in the middle, because throughout my life so far, I've never planned for anything, right? It's just always happened.
Yeah.
The time, you know what I mean, being in plays at school, never planned it, but when I did it, I went down a storm,
It was
that sort of
fun.
thing.
Yeah, we all remember that.
So,
As I remember, you did Little Donkey,
did Little Donkey, yeah.
and then later, someone was filming at the back. Was it your dad's mate?
My dad's mate. Well,
Yeah. And on the camcorder, he listened to it back, watched him playing it. His dad says, just off camera, what does he say?
I don't want to say it because I'm in charge of the show and I'd be irresponsible.
He looks like a right twat.
So,
And so he gets home, just watching that, and then here's his dad just off camera go, he looks like a right twat.
yeah, alright, yeah.
What are you worried about? Your dad saying that on the
Can I
word?
just interject, because I'm really worried about this idea of Carl being on MTV, because the problem is that, you know, let's be honest, Rick, I mean, we're getting by the skin of our teeth, aren't we, really? It's
Yeah.
only Carl that's keeping this afloat.
Yeah.
And if he gets on MTV and the world sort of gets a sense of him and they understand him, and he won't be ours anymore, we won't be able to control him, it'll be out there, it'll be in the public domain.
That's the thing, no, that's the thing, that's the terrible thing though, isn't it? It's like, Carl is my pet, but I realise I've got to release him into the wild, sort of, and, you know, because I love him, I know he's got to go free.
Sure.
But I wanna,
It's like Kez. Maybe someone will beat him to death and we won't have to worry.
I'll have you on though, I'll have you on as a guest.
Yeah.
Which gets me on to something we've got coming up today.
Oh yeah, he's got a new idea.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you know, like, I've talked about ghosts, and we had that good discussion the other week walking about ghosts, and you were saying, Carl, don't be an idiot, and all that. Spoke to a woman in the week, done a little interview with
We've
her.
done a little interview.
Done a little interview, 2 minutes or so, with a woman who's got ghosts in her house. So,
I look forward to hearing that later, that sounds brilliant.
coming up later.
Well, I'm going to play a classic tune now. I've just gone straight for it. I've gone for the jugular. This is Ziggy Stardust by David Bowie. Ziggy Stardust by David Bowie on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me, Steve Merchant, and Carl Pilkington. Carl's also nervous. Got a bit of shock last week, didn't you?
Just a little bit.
His dad tuned in.
To the show.
Yeah. And Carl's never told him that he actually speaks on the show. He just said, just press the buttons, right? He's kept him from it. You used to do radio before and you never told him, did you? It's because the little donkey incident,
Yeah.
when he went along to it.
Was that the twat incident?
Yeah. And so he's never told him since, but they promised not to listen, haven't they?
Well, my dad said, my mum said to me, don't worry, don't be put off this week, because, you know, I've told him he can't listen, but I hear my dad in the background kind of going, Alex. So, he might be listening. So that's extra pressure. Plus a camera crew in.
I know. You don't like it, do you?
This is good training for MTV, because then he can watch you on TV, and what's he going to make of that?
Oh.
Yeah.
Does he know you're bald?
Yeah.
You don't keep your hat on when you're with him and say, oh no, I'll just press the buttons.
No, it's just, you know, it's like when I was in any plays, I didn't tell him.
No.
Any sort of parents' evening, I never gave him the note.
Really?
Yeah.
So what did the teachers think? You were just an orphan?
No, just on an off chance. My mate's dad spoke to me dad once, I think, and sort of said, oh, you going to school to see how, you know, your kid's doing? So what are you talking about? So there's a parents' evening, so he
Said what kid?
he went to one, and that's when Mrs. Matthews said I'd never be a high flyer.
How wrong was she? I think we should call Mrs. Matthews and make her eat her words.
Well,
She'd turn on to MTV when, I don't know, like their slamming session.
Yeah.
And they're go, that's young Pilkington. He's bald, but it's definitely him.
I recognise that woolly hat.
yeah. Did you see Celebrity Fit Club yesterday?
I missed it. I didn't watch any TV this week. The only TV I watched was, Are You Good in Bed? I already knew the answer.
What was it? You had to have to tick points?
Yeah.
Right.
It was no! I was off the scale.
Well, talking off the scales, Rick Waller.
Really? Is he off? What's
well,
happened?
what he did is he lost weight, and they couldn't believe it. And he had a big argument with Harvey, and they said go, never come back to it. Right? And then he got to weigh, and then he'd lost sort of like 10 pounds or something. And they were really. They said, you've been starving yourself, haven't you? And he admitted it. And
I thought he just wasn't wearing his underpants.
yeah. But he was whinging all the time. He was watching it. He was doing a press that was going, I've hurt my arm. Then he was going, I feel sick. And he was going, and he was just lying all the time about whether he was doing the routine and what he was eating and stuff. And I thought, that's me with this celebrity box. It is, because it's sort of like, and they go, how's it going? Do you have a drink this week? And I go, no. Haven't had a beer this week, no. Did you do the exercise today? And I go, yep. Yeah, I've done all that. Yeah. And I try and get out of the sparring because it hurts, because there's a man hitting me in the face for fun.
Right. Because you know that's what boxing is.
Yeah, that is being hit, yeah. I like all the bits, except the being hit. I don't even mind hitting someone.
Right,
I'd be willing to hit someone. It's the getting hit that I don't like.
Because I know you're a big fan of, like wearing the clothes, the sort of sporty gear.
I'm looking good,
you look good, and you've obviously spent that money.
They gave me this for training.
Free of charge.
This was free
So I know
for training.
that's a perk you love.
So,
and I know you like, kind of the sort of various sort of nutritional drinks you've got. I know you're a big fan of those.
I love the protein shake, because it tastes like chocolate. You know what? I've put on a couple of pounds since I've been doing this training.
Nice.
I think it is the extra meal, and
so you're adding the protein, but not working out enough to take it off again.
Yeah, but I think I have actually changed a bit. I've got an inch on my chest, but an inch off my waist. So even though I've put on weight, there must be a little bit of muscle happening somewhere.
So just to recap there slightly, you're enjoying all the trappings of boxing.
Yeah.
But not the boxing.
Not the getting hit in the nose.
Right.
That's the one.
And you are aware that that's what will be happening during the actual fight?
No, because I've got a cunning plan.
Okay.
I'm gonna duck and dive.
Okay.
Bob and weave, dance. I'm gonna dance.
Well, I read in the paper yesterday, I don't know how much truth there is, that Grant Bovey has recruited celebrity hypnotist Paul McKenna to help him win.
Yeah,
so I don't know if that's a finished, because I know you've got Spit the Dog. You've got a couple of ventriloquists and an impressionist on your side.
I've got Pork Pie from Desmond.
Yeah, exactly.
Just getting me tuned
in your corner
mentally. Yeah. Well, I don't know. It's all a bit of fun.
What do you reckon, Carl? Do you think he's
what's McKenna going to be doing? Is like Grant Bovey going to be turned into a chicken and? You know what I mean?
He's going to do an Elvis impression.
Yeah.
And take
if I say the right words.
No, I think he's probably going to just help him focus
I think there's lots of sports psychologists out there at the moment getting people. So I'm sure it's valid. If it's true, I'm sure it's fine. But I've been getting tuned mentally, learning how to hit.
Yeah.
That was my method. Eating and hitting, I think is.
And do you work out to any music? I mean, do you put on the Rocky soundtrack? Because I know you've got a CD with music from all 5 films, haven't you?
No, we don't. I think they have the radio on down there, but you don't hear it. It's all you hear is people shouting, saying things like, "That's not like a fighter," and me going, "I'm not a fighter. I'm a comedian."
And is it quite intimidating down there? I mean, do they?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure they're nice people, but
I'm getting used to it now. But it is a different world, and I was quite scared, and I didn't.
When you say I mean, is it like they're gangsters? I mean, is it kind of? I just mean, has it got that feel? You know, when you see it in films, they walk into those places, and you know, they're hard nuts, and there's that feel like.
Well, they're all they're all ex-boxers and stuff. So yeah, but no, they're not. No, that's not. What I mean.
I suppose it's like they're real men.
Well, yeah, and they don't understand really that I don't like getting hit on the nose. And they say, well, no one gets hit on the nose. And it took me a long time to get over that. Just taking a couple of punches.
Yeah.
I wanted to rule it out. Yeah. And but you know, it's okay now. And of course I know they're mollycoddling me. They're not. They're using about 25% power, and I'm still.
And you wear the headgear, do you?
Oh yeah, and the gum shield. Yeah, I wanted to wear a crash helmet, but they said no. And carry a baseball bat, and they said that's technically illegal. But I'm looking for. I'm a changed man, Carl. What we got coming up?
Got a bit of a Death in Vegas with vocals from Liam Gallagher.
Final question for you, Rick. Do you think you'll carry on boxing after this is finished?
Competitively?
No, just the training and stuff.
Yeah, I do the training. Yeah, no, I love the training. I love learning the skills, and I do enjoy the punched around. And I'm not worried about the fight at all. I'm really looking forward to the fight, because Grant's a novice like me. It's just when you get in with an ex-pro who you know could destroy you. So you're scared of it, and you know, they never lose their rag, and they're really cool, and they're really nice, and they've never even hit me by mistake. But even just tapping you like that in the face hurts.
I was walking down Finchley Radio and a couple of sixth formers said, "Oh, you lanky goggle-eyed freak," and I just wondered if maybe you could pop round and have a word with them.
I will.
I will. Some of your friends.
An enemy of yours is an enemy of mine.
Good.
Scorpio Rising, Death in Vegas on XFM 104.9, Steve. I'm Ricky Gervais. Carl's a little bit less stressed now. His camera crew have gone, his dad's not listening, we think.
Well, yeah, who knows? Who knows?
But, you're chilled.
I tell you what though, my mum was loving it. Do you know Rockbusters?
Do I know Rockbusters? I love Rockbusters. I think I dream of it.
She was taking part. I mean, she doesn't know a lot of the new bands and that, but she made some up for some older bands and that.
Oh, she did some herself?
She made some herself, sent them in the post.
So are you going to use those today?
She's not quite got the hang of it. So,
Unlike her genius son.
Have you got them there? Can we hear what they are?
You keep talking a second then.
I'm quite excited. I mean, if they're even approaching, say, the genius of Wet Knee Houston.
Yeah.
And, there was another one which was something to do with a trench, Carl. What was that?
Oh, that was Dandy Warhols. That was a good one.
Dandy Warhols.
I think that was his finest moment. Yeah.
Incidentally, I've got an email here from someone called Sauda, if that's a he or a she, but let's assume it's a she, just for glam's sake.
Yeah.
She said she saw an old man eating a Twix last week, Carl, so that blows your theory out the
I'm
water.
not having it.
Okay. So if you are a bloke, he's calling you a liar, so maybe you want a little rumble later?
In fact, if you are a bloke, he's calling you a girl.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah, then. These are ones that my mum's made up.
Brilliant.
Right, just in case you're a new listener, I'll give some initials out and a cryptic clue. And it makes up a band, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Or a solo artist.
Yeah,
Not so much cryptic as what you're thinking.
Well, my mum sent this one. This group would be good at doing your hair.
This group would be good at doing your hair.
TP.
Is there a group called the Hairdressers from the 60s?
This group would be good at doing
What?
your hair.
TP.
TP. Is it the something?
The Platters.
The Platters.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah, so that's alright.
Nice.
Let's have a look. This group sound like dinosaurs.
Group sound like dinosaurs.
T-Rex.
T-Rex.
Yeah, I see what you mean. They're not so much cryptic, are they?
This group
Leave her alone, they're good.
This group likes being by the sand and the sea.
This group likes being
Are they the Beach Boys, boy?
Beach Boys.
This band are called the Beatles. The Beatles.
Hang on. We just have
What else you got?
It's funny because one of them that she's done, I'm actually doing today. I thought of in the week.
Right,
So,
is it the same clue?
It was, yeah.
Wow,
But
great minds think alike,
Here's
so
the
this is
last
obviously
one.
coincidence.
Here's the last one from her. This guy sounds superb.
This guy sounds superb.
The Bachelors.
Glenn Campbell.
That's good. I like that.
I'd tell you this, I think you should get onto one of the big game organisations, Parker Brothers or whatever, because this has got to be, I mean, this could sweep the nation at Christmas. Don't you think this is the perfect Christmas game?
Yeah.
Well, I think this is what's going to make or break the MTV thing.
Right, some kind of TV version.
Yeah. I'm just thinking into ad breaks, you know, coming up next is this band.
Be careful though, Carl, because, you know, make sure you retain the rights, because I can see this selling abroad. You know,
Yeah,
you could
and I
sort
can
of
see
America.
someone coming along and taking the sort of like the Rockbusters and changing one word and like another game out of it and just
What
using the
was
same format.
What
I don't know. I can't think of them there, but they could change. So
Sort of like,
they change the word rock to something else and have it.
what could it be? Brick, block?
Yeah, and so you have to, you know what I mean. So be
Blockbusters.
careful.
Blockbusters will never work.
Look at his little face.
So we're doing that later. Got some good prizes.
Okay. We'll talk about the
We'll
prizes
talk about that in a bit.
Yeah.
Educating Ricky.
Yeah, got
that.
We've got the woman who's got a ghost in her house.
Yeah. It's a shame she's not here live, because I feel like I want to ask a few questions, Rick. I don't know about you.
Don't worry, I've covered it all.
Covered it all, go on.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Play a record.
Rick, I know probably you, like me, are just too busy really to keep abreast of new music, aren't you?
Yeah.
I mean, we're busy people, we've got, you know, important showbiz parties to go to and stuff. That's why I have friends of mine who send me compilations and stuff. That's one of my quarterly compilations from my friend Harry, and that's All Downhill From Here by Jim O'Rourke.
I've got a new track coming up later actually that I think you might like. So you know, we're inflaming each other's desire for new songs as well as going back to the back catalogue, some classics.
Sure.
All right. I love adverts better though.
I do. I love it. It's weird.
Missy Elliott on XFM 104.9. Ricky Gervais with me, Steve and Carl. Carl, why have you got a headache? You got a headache?
just a bit stressful because the moves on this week.
Are you leaving house?
Oh, by the way, the XFM listeners came round to my house and bought the futon and table.
Did they?
Were they happy with it?
Quite normal. They were well happy.
Yeah.
Couldn't believe the luck with it.
What do you mean quite normal? What do you mean quite normal?
Well, it's always a bit scared, isn't it, getting people round.
I imagine they were scared.
Well,
And were they excited to see you? Could they, I mean, they were, you know, could you tell that they were pretty pleased to see you?
No, I don't think so. I mean, you know,
You're
but-
Carl Pilkington.
yeah, but the fellas sort of, I mean, they brought the whole family round, which was a bit odd.
Well, it's not often they get the chance to visit a living freak.